Mike Moore Media.
In our studios, Seth Woodall, Rockingham County Attorney and candidate for Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. Seth, welcome back.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing just great. Before we talk about your campaign, you're just all over the state doing so many exciting things. Let's give everyone an update on your law practice here in Eden and Madison. That's still up and running.
The law practice is still wide open. You know, we are still operating in Eden and Madison, have attorneys representing the community in both locations, and we continue to be full steam ahead.
Okay, so regular hours, everything's there, and you're doing so many good things in that law practice too. So you're helping people in what areas?
Well, we're continuing to help people in our community in whatever area they need. I get asked all over the state what I specialize in, and I specialize in helping the community. That's what I do. So we have attorneys that do criminal law, traffic tickets, domestic cases, general civil, personal injury, and real estate, trust drafting, estate planning documents, estate administration. So we kind of run a wide gamut of what we offer. We are got two attorneys, Tim Dugan and Sam Viscuso. Tim is in the Eden office, and Sam is in the Madison office. Those guys are really taking off with some personal injury stuff, just helping those who have been injured in accidents. And so we're going to focus on that for a little bit for them and try to build that area of the practice.
Wonderful. Okay, Seth Woodall and Associates with offices in Eden and Madison. All righty, you're out on the campaign trail, and I'm on your Facebook page right now. My goodness, you're all over the state. Where have you been recently? What's going on out there?
Mike, I'm going to miss something, but we have been all over the state in the last month since I've seen you last. I know we were in Randolph County at the NASCAR Day there, which is similar to our Riverfest here for Eden. So many great people out there. We had great reception there. The end of October, we had a golf tournament. It was a sponsorship for my campaign. I think we had in excess of 80, maybe close to 100 players come to that. It was quite a success. We spoke in Wake County at the GOP meeting back in late October. That was a phenomenal event. I think it was over 100 people at that dinner. We have been to Union County, met with folks down in Union County. We've been to Stokes County. Spoke in Stokes County, was actually invited out to Ace Speedway in Alamance County and set up a tent at the entrance of their last race of the year, and that was in late October, October the 28th, and just met so many good people there in that community. We have been to Whiteville, North Carolina. We've done a pecan festival down there a few weeks ago, and we've been to, this past week, I was in Union County for a Veterans Memorial with the Independence Fund, and actually bust in probably 75 to 100 of the U.S. 82nd Airborne and honored those guys and met with some just great individuals. Tim Kennedy was there, the UFC fighter and former military veteran. So that was a great event. We this past week, we were back in Union County last week for another dinner. Then we spoke at the congressional district for the 10th Congressional District down in Statesville this past Saturday. Was in Alexander County on Friday doing a newspaper interview with the Taylorsville Times. That piece will come out this coming Wednesday. So we're just looking forward to it. This week we're busy. There's a Lieutenant Governor's Forum at the Worship Place at 1807 Merritt Drive in Greensboro tonight. I think there's 6 or 7 of the Lieutenant Governor candidates going to be there. And it's going to be a forum and a question and answer style event. So anybody that is looking for anything to do tonight in Greensboro, 6:30 p.m. this evening. Then we're going to be at ECU for a fundraiser and a campaign event on Wednesday of this week. Then I believe on Friday we're hosting a Brunswick Stew at 912 Bethlehem, the farmhouse, which is one of our ventures. And so we're inviting the public. You know, we've gotten great response. I would say we're going to have a tremendous number of people there. It's first come, first serve, free stew. It is a campaign event. We're seeking donations. Unfortunately, a statewide event, campaign like this is extremely expensive, and it will be we're requesting donations. It's not a necessity, but we are requesting that folks give a donation to the campaign. But that'll be this Friday, 5:30 to 8 p.m. at 912 Bethlehem Church Road. That is the farmhouse venue. And again, it'll be Brunswick Stew and just a good time.
I'm tired. just listening to you, Seth. But you got to do it. I mean, you got to be everywhere. It seems like
You do. This is not something that you can just sit back and wait to come to you. You got to go get it. And so we plan to go to all 100 counties, and it's a big state, and we've got a short period of time to do it, but we're trying to hit every location that we can. We've got the stew on Friday. We'll be cleaning up late, and we've got to be in Transylvania, North Carolina, I think by 9 or 10 the next morning. So it's going to be a busy weekend.
It sounds like it. Yep. Your Facebook page, Seth Woodall for NC Lieutenant Governor. As I mentioned a moment ago, I'm on your Facebook page now, and I see some pictures here for that 10th Congressional District at their convention. Tell me a little bit about that. How'd that go?
So that went well. That was this past weekend. So that was they were selecting the delegates for the 10th Congressional District here in North Carolina. It was down in Statesville, North Carolina. There was a number of statewide candidates that spoke there. We were lucky enough to be one of those, and we did a fantastic job, in my opinion.
Okay, very good. What are you hearing from people across our state?
As far as our campaign or as far as what we need?
Both.
So as far as our campaign, we have been so well received all over the state. There's been just such positive feedback, outpouring of support. Locally, I can't say enough about the community that's gotten behind this. It's just humbling, quite frankly. And moving forward, we're talking to folks, and there's kind of 5 key topics that we keep hearing about, and that's what we're focusing our campaign on. And that's the economy, that's law and order, it's the election integrity, education, and the Second Amendment.
Let's talk about education a little bit, because I know you're working on a special event coming up next month.
We are. I'm excited about it. Matt Warman, my campaign manager, and I are working on an educators forum. We're going to host a lunch or a dinner for educators in the area, and we're just going to invite educators and administrators to come out and just share with us the issues that are impacting them in their day-to-day lives within education. So whether or not they're in public school system, private school system, charter school system, or even homeschool parents, we want to hear the challenges that they're facing, because the lieutenant governor's position is so heavily involved in education. We want to make sure that we know what issues exist and that we're able to address those with the campaign. And most importantly, when we take office in January 2025, we want to hit the ground running and make sure that education is at the forefront of North Carolina's policies.
Why is education such an important part of the lieutenant governor's office?
Well, statutorily, by statute, you are on the Public Board of Education, on the Community College Board of Education, and you just have such an ability to impact education in children's lives. And I think, really, if you look at society in general, these kids are so impressionable, and we need to make sure that the values that North Carolina want to instill in our families starts at a very early age.
We're hearing more and more in the media about social media and the problems there with young people. And what are your comments that people are giving on that?
So I think, I do hear that, especially with parents. It's so easy for kids to get caught up in social media. It's so captivating, but we've got to do something to make sure kids are learning in the best manner that we can possibly teach them.
Okay, so more information coming soon on this educators forum.
We will. We're working on putting that together with local educators now, and so we will post invitations and we'll contact people directly, but it will be on all of our social media sites.
One of your 5 key topics you're concerned with in this campaign. Did you want to touch on some of the others in any way?
Well, I can run through them. Law and order, we're going to stand with law enforcement and first responders to make sure that they have the resources and capabilities to continue to protect us as a state. Second Amendment, we're huge proponents of firearms and firearms rights. We believe that the firearms that you hold are the last lines of defense in the event that evil arises. And so we're going to do everything that we can to ensure that the government doesn't have the ability to reduce or eliminate your right to own firearms. The economy, I think I spoke about it last time. We're going into some cold, dark months and talking to folks all around the state that are having to make decisions about paying for their electric bill, for their heat, for their groceries, and their prescription medication. We're going to make sure that we legislate in a manner that is most beneficial to the families of this state. Then election integrity. If you lose the integrity of the election, you lose democracy, and we're going to do everything we can to continue the fight that our North Carolina legislature has already embarked upon to make sure that we close the loopholes in voter identification and make sure that our elections are fair here in this state. And then education, again, we want to make sure that our kids learn with intensity and live with integrity, and there's no agendas other than academics in our school systems.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Where can we get more information about your campaign and what's going on?
SethWoodall.com is our website. You can check us out on Facebook or Instagram. We also have a X platform. So look at us on social media, contact us. My campaign manager, Matt Warman, is probably one of the most receptive people that you could find to provide you information. And, we're there for the community, and we don't mind people coming to see us, call us, email us. We want to be involved.
Matt, good to have you in the studio here today as well. If someone would like to donate to your campaign, we can do that really on your social media platforms. You
can. If you go to SethWoodall.com, there's a donation link, and any amount is great with us. We don't care if it's $5, $10, $15, or the max contribution, which is $6,400. We need all the help that we can get financially, and it's hard to beg for money, and we're not going to beg, but we do want the community and the state to support us because this is a very expensive race, and we're having to go all over. And at the end of the day, it's going to take a sacrifice of everybody to change the state.
I'm on your Facebook page here looking at this Brunswick Stew fundraiser again. Do you want to mention that maybe one more time?
Yes, sir. So this week, Friday, we're going to have a Brunswick Stew dinner at 912 Bethlehem Church Road. The venue there is the Farmhouse. It'll be free Brunswick stew and drinks. We will be requesting donations. We'll have a tent set up. You can bring checks. We cannot accept business checks. We cannot accept cash over $50, but we will have folks there that can take online payments. And so you can pay with a card, pay with a check, or pay cash up to $50. But again, any donation is greatly appreciated, and it will go to good use.
Okay. Seth, always good to have you here in the studio and get an update on things as you travel across our great state talking to so many people. Thank you for that.
Well, Mike, we appreciate everything that you do. We're glad to be here.
And we'll be back together again next month, get an update.
Can't wait.
All right, same here. All right, Seth Woodall in our studios today. His law practice in Eden and Madison, and he is a candidate for North Carolina Lieutenant Governor. Please visit his social media platforms, SethWoodall.com, and on Facebook, Seth Woodall for NC Lieutenant Governor. All content in this program is paid for by the committee to elect Seth Woodall, candidate for Lieutenant Governor.